How dare you touch what is mine? The ghostly girl shouts. You back up and reflexively put the mirror back on the table. You have heard the tales of powerful ghosts that can suck the life right out of you and wonder if this is one of those. What do you do? Hello everybody, and we are back. Yes, we are back to some more continuation, part 2 of The Wizard's Choice. I am your host, the Red Mage, and I hope you are enjoying this as much as I am. Yes, if you just heard what is happening, we've just encountered a ghost in the last episode, and we are trying to decide what shall we do. What will we do? Run for the stairs? Protect from evil spirits 2 mana? Or apologize? Well, if you remember in the last one, it's just saying, she's just asking, why are you touching what is mine? We shouldn't be touching her stuff in the first place. So, it's not considering that the spirit is exactly evil. So if we just waste 2 mana and the spirit is actually a good spirit, that's just a waste. And it might piss off her even more, which she might become an evil spirit. Who knows? Run for the stairs? I don't really think. Let's just apologize. I don't think we'll be able to beat a ghost, but let's just apologize and see what happens from there. I apologize, my lady, you say. It is only that this is such a fine mirror, and I wish to admire it. Oh, coming up with a good lie, are we? She glares at you for a moment, and then the hard expression on her translucent face softens. See, I told you she could be nice. I am the Duchess Inverness. Okay, so she's the Duchess. My father, the Duke, gave me that as a gift. You have heard the stories of Duke Inverness and the mysterious circumstances around the demise of his house. Despite your fear, you feel a pang of sadness for his daughter, who now shimmers before you, trapped in this world. Ooh. So she's trapped. And these books, why, they look like excellent stories in here, you stammer. Read that one to me, the girl commands. Of course, my lady, you answer. Luckily for you, as a wizard, you know how to read. You pick up the book of fairy tales from the desk and begin on the first page. She stops you and demands that you read her the story about the unicorn. With trembling hands, you page through the book. Eventually, you find the story and begin reading. The ghost floats up behind you as though to peer down at the picture. You feel a slight chill on your shoulder. Sometime later, you look up from your book and see Reginald peeking around the corner of the stairway at you. You shake your head slightly at him and then return your attention to the book. In the story, the unicorn taps her hoof against a wall in a castle, and a secret passage opens up. As you read this, the little girl smiles and says, "There is a secret passage in this castle as well." Ooh, so see, if we was nice, we wouldn't have, if we was mean, we wouldn't have known about the secret. Okay, so there might be a way to for us to get out of here, or even get something loot or something, maybe, I don't know. There's a secret passage in this castle as well. It is a foul place, and a place where people are taken never to return. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe I don't want to go there. Maybe I opened my mouth way too soon. Where is this secret passage you speak of, you ask? In my father's library, there is a statue. Push the arm of the statue down, she explained. You are intrigued by this and wish to ask her more, but she points at the book impatiently, and so you get back to it. Upon finishing the story, the girl demands you read her another. You wonder how long she might keep this up. Time means nothing to her after all. You would like to get back to Regional, and what about Seba's father? Rescuing a merchant might mean a fine reward. And there's Seba herself, of course. Would you like to find her before something else does? Let's see, should we attempt? let's attempt to excuse ourselves. Because we read her the story. Let's attempt to... Beautiful and gracious Duchess, might I ask your full name, you ask? Gabriella, Duchess Gabriella of Inverness, she answers. My lady, you bow. I beg your pardon, but there is a young woman in the castle below who requires my assistance. There are evil men. I suspect they threaten her life. A maiden in distress? Why do you dally here then? Begone! You need no further encouragement. You step lightly towards the door. Wait! Her voice chills you, but you unwillingly turn back. Take this, she says, and the gold trimmer mirror floats off of the table over to you. Ooh, cool. So we got this magic mirror. I wonder what it does. I cannot see myself in it anymore, she says softly, generously befitting a duchess. I thank you most humbly. You bow low and then leave. You find Reginald around the corner of the stairs, his sword at the ready. He begins asking you questions, but you put up your hand. Another time, you say. Let's continue. Ooh, what do we get? You have reached a checkpoint. Let's later. That's great. Okay. Checkpoint reached. Good job. So we are alive. We're still alive. We got 50 gold, 7 morale, 7 mana, and 7 life. Alright. Let's see what else is going to be up forward. The two of you continue through the castle. Occasionally you hear distant things, a shout, a crash, even voices. Soon you come to a door with light streaming out through its cracks. You open it ever so slightly and peek in. You see a cloaked figure frantically pacing back and forth. You cannot see his face, but his hands appear to be human. You catch glimpses of his naked torso under the cloak. It is black with tattoos, and you think you make out at least one of the tattoos to be a symbol of Nerul, god of the undead. Ooh. This reminds you of the tattooed body of a man hung in the city square only a few months ago. He was believed to be an evil priest of Nerul and was accused of terrible crimes, including raising zombies. Such priests are able to harvest power from their deities and cast dangerous spells. However, you have the element of surprise. What do? Attack without spell, attack with spell, or cast a charm spell. Well, since he knows how to, he's obviously got magic with him also, so he might be able to deflect my charm spell. I don't believe that will work again. Remember, the ogre was just a dumb beast. Spy for a bit. Let's spy. Yeah, let's just spy for a bit. Where is she? Okay, so he's waiting on something. Where is she? How could she escape? The man mutters to himself. The sacrifice must appease him, he whispers. He then starts towards the door you have cracked open. Quickly you move away out of sight and listen for a few seconds. You hear nothing, not even footsteps. What do? I think he might have heard us. I think he might have heard us. I'm not sure. Because it says quickly you move away. It doesn't say silently. I think he might have heard us. I do. Let's attack with the spell. Okay, mana decreases by 2. You nod to Reginald, and the two of you burst into the room. Your quarry appears to be young, although his face is scarred. He looks at you with the expression of a man who is presently soiled himself. Oh shit. Yeah. He ducks back as Reginald swings his sword, but not fast enough. The blade slashes his shoulder. He tries to run, chanting something that you recognize as the beginning of a spell. You strike him in the back with a bolt of flame that engulfs his cloak in fire. He screams and thrashes just before Reginald cuts him down with one great cleave. Perhaps now that I reflect upon this, we should have tried to keep him alive. We still know not the fate of the rest of the caravan, you say with a frown. In battle there is no time for regret, and not a scratch on us this time. I call that victory, declares Reginald. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what both of you guys are saying now. Because the guy already tried to kill you once. If we can't just there's probably more of them. I assume there's more of them. Okay. Now that you are in the room, you can see that you're in the living quarters. There is a bed near the wall and a good-sized chest in the corner. Treasure, you think as you run over and try to lift the lid. Locked. The Neuralian priest did not die quietly, so perhaps you should have Reginald smash the lid with his sword and then get out of here. On the other hand, there ought to be a key around somewhere. Maybe you should take a few seconds and check. Let's search for a bit. You stand guard while I search, you say to Reginald. You kick the body of the priest over. The corpse is a bloody mess, but you don't have time to be dainty about it. The man is nude, other than the cloak and a golden amulet around his neck. The amulet is an unholy symbol of Neural, the god of the undead. You would never keep such an evil thing, but it's coated in gold, so you could have it melted down. You rummage through his sticky cloak. Sure enough, you find a key. You trot over to the chest, key in hand. The key has the same hue of metal as the lock, and you are optimistic that it will fit. You are fumbling with the key when you hear something off in the distance, and a chill goes down your spine. Are more coming? Did they hear the priest cry out? What do? Let's search the chest for a trap. You take the time to look over the chest carefully. There are no obvious traps. You carefully insert the key into the lock. It's fixed. You close your eyes as you turn the key. The top of the chest pops open as though on a spring, and nothing happens. You exhale in relief. Inside is a bag full of gold pieces, some platinum engraved china, and some a black-bound writing book. There is a low rumble of footsteps, and you look up just as two priests burst into the room. Continue. Ooh, oh crap. Unholy one, give me strength, one of the priests shouts. With these words, of dark shade appears around his hand and then shoots out, striking Reginald, who flies back against the wall. The other priest grins at you. A dark ray springs from his outstretched fingers, striking you in the shoulder. Cold pain spreads through you. You dive behind the bed for cover. What do? Firebolt. You pop your head, an outstretched hand over the bed, and send out a bolt of flame into the first evil priest. He flails and screams as he runs into the wall and then falls. Meanwhile, Reginald has made quick work of the other priest with his long sword. Yes! Yes. Gold increased by 60, and we killed those two. You take the time to search the bodies and find golden unholy symbol medallions on each of them, as well as one fine silver dagger. Not bad for 20 seconds of work. I tire of looting corpses. Let us be off to rescuing the merchants and receive glorious rewards, you exclaim. Off you go, deeper into the castle. Soon you find yourself in a library. However, all the books are gone from the tall wooden shelves, either stolen or destroyed. As a wizard, this is disappointing to you. All castle libraries have a secret doors, you announce. After searching for a while, you notice a small statue of a winged boy reading a book worked into a stone wall. You press on the statue's arm and it shifts down. There is a grinding sound, and you see the bookshelf nearby crack open from the wall. You wedge your fingers into the gap and pry open the door. Immediately before you are stairs descending into the darkness. Dear reader, normally I would give you a choice of whether or not you go down the stairs. But really, who finds a secret door and chooses not to investigate? That's exactly what I was saying. And so with lantern in hand, you descend a few steps and listen. It's deadly quiet down here and chilly. You urge Regional to take the lead after all. He's wearing the armor. There is a small metal lever on the inside of the passage that you suppose is what you used to open the door from the inside. Nevertheless, you decide to leave the door open. The last thing you need is to get trapped in this evil-smelling place. It is some time before you finally reach a small empty chamber. On the far wall is a large iron door. Scrawled over the door in a rusty red dye, or more likely dried blood, is a set of elaborate symbols. God, what is this? Says Regional, playing the lantern light over the symbols. It is writing in the infernal tongue, you say, a language of devils, demons, and other beasts that inhabit the nightmares of universes. At times, I do not even envy your knowledge, says Regional with a faint shudder. The study of magic leads to many dark places, you say. The trick is not to wander far into the void. What does it say? Asks Regional in a tone that is not at all enthusiastic or curious. You study the symbols. They are crudely drawn as though in haste, perhaps scrawled by bloody fingers. I cannot be sure. I believe it's a word of some sort, a protection spell? A protection spell using such a foul language? Regional sniffs. I would expect a curse or a fiendish summoning. It is a protection against such a summoning, a barrier, you say. Evil knows evil best, and a spellcaster of black magic understands the need to protect himself from the terrors they bring into this world. Ooh. Regional grimaces and points to the tip of his sword at the worded door. Only a fool would go down there, although I am more a man of curiosity than wisdom. You slap his shoulder, making a dull sound against his breastplate, as you have proven time and time again. What will you do? Let's open the door. I didn't come all the way down here just to leave. We're opening this door. So we are manic, but we lost in life. We only have 3 mana. We got 230 gold. I hope nothing big comes. Alright. Maybe there's a treasure room beyond this, you joke. Fortune and glory, my friend, Regional says with a broad smile. The large iron door shudders and screeches as Regional slowly pries it open. Once open, your friend's face drops, and you soon realize why. A powerful stench wafts up from the dark stairs below. He takes a deep breath and plunges down the stairway. The two of you descend for some time before entering into a large room eerily illuminated by green flaming torches fastened to each of the walls. Near the far wall is a dais leading up to a large obsidian altar. Once closer inspection, you see candles in golden candle holders and a large golden bowl stained red inside. In fact, the entire altar is stained rusty red. Also upon the altar sits a book. The book is bound in what might very well be mummified human skin, with hand and finger bones embedded into the cover, as though the book were in the grasp of the dead. The title is infernal, but you don't recognize the words. Just before the altar is a narrow but deep pit. Shining the lantern in, you make out something gleaming white, a skeletal arm and hand. Regional adds his light to yours, and you can now see a heap of bodies, at various stages of decay. The heap is crawling with rats and other vile scavengers. Sacrifices, the source of the stench, you mutter. I would bet my last copper that Seba's father and the rest of the caravan are among them. Regional makes a face in disgust. I say we swiftly piffler what we can from this unholy place and leave. As he says this, you notice a darkness that seems to be collecting behind the altar, as though the fabric between this world and the abyss is ripping apart before your eyes. Take what you can do and take what you can and run. I don't believe there's going to be any time to run. No time to run. Run, you shout. Regional snatches the book off the altar, turns towards the stairs. You turn to flee. Chilling cold encircles you, and there is a hoarse laughter. You look back and see that the darkness behind the altar has taken the shape of a man, a tall, spindly shadow with a malevolent, hollow pits for eyes. Oh, shit. Your souls are mine, he hisses with infernal language, its voice echoing all around you. Demon, you shout. Up the stairs you bolt, leaping 3 steps at a time. There is a wheezing snarl not far behind. You make it through the large iron door. The door is heavy and the hinges are tight. Nevertheless, you expect that if you hurl your weight against it, you can knock it shut. But this will take time, and the demon is nearly upon you. Try to close it? Yeah. Try to close it. Yes, always closed door. You run into the room, turn back, and slam your weight against the door, which grudgingly shuts with a whine of its hinges. While it almost shuts, some debris has fallen in the way, keeping it open a crack. There is a snarl, and the door shakes, but the arcane symbols scrawled on the door appear to be word meant to provide a barrier to spirits. You would like to open the door enough to kick the debris out of the way and shut it properly, but you don't dare. Instead, you concentrate on running as fast as possible up the stairway after Regional. As you reach the secret door in the library, there is a great bang that echoes from below, followed by a jubilant shout of freedom. Keep running, you shout to Regional. He does not seem to need his encouragement. I wouldn't either. As he sprints out the library door, you follow him out of the library and down several passageways. Rounding a corner, you are suddenly in a large and lavishly furnished room filled with the soft light of dozens of candles. In the middle are 3 of the evil priests holding hands, surrounded with what appears to be a pile of corpses. The men are chanting in infernal tongue. One of the corpses begins to twitch. Just to the side of the priest stands the massive ogre, his pale white body and large, cold, dark eyes fixed on Regional. Meanwhile, the corpses that had been twitching springs up to its feet with alarming speed. You think you recognize him as one of the priests you had killed earlier. The undead creature's levels his hungry gaze upon you. What do? We'll only have 3 mana. Charm the ogre. Charm the ogre. Let's charm the ogre. Yes. You point at the ogre and recite magical words, pausing now and then to blow kisses into the air. The ogre, who was about to swing his mighty club at Regional, instead turns his attention to you. You are not entirely sure, but you think you see the soft glow of the ogre's affection in those large dark orbs. One of the priests throws a large candle at you and then begins reciting a spell. When the poorly aimed and weakly thrown candle misses you, the ogre slams the priest in the face with his club, smashing it like a melon. Yes, yes, you shout to the ogre. Kill them all! The undead corpse springs at you, but the ogre grabs it by the leg in midair, and it crashes it to the floor. The ogre and the zombies then grapple each other, clawing, biting, and strangling. Regional has since gathered his wits and slain another of the priests with his sword. The two of you fall upon the remaining priest, old medieval way, cutting and stabbing with blades. Soon that poor fool is nothing more than a bloody mess on the floor. You look over to see that the ogre has dismembered the foul, motionless, undead priest, but in the process, however, it has been grievously wounded. Its neck has been ripped open, and the purplish blood is pumping out. It looks at you pleadingly before collapsing. Oh man. Well, it's not like it was my bestest friend. Alright, everybody. So, we have came through a lot just now. We have went through a lot, and that was... We're still not even out of this castle yet. We're still. But I think we can. I mean, we got 5 lives left, but we are out of mana. I hope we come across some way to get our magic back. 230 gold and 11 morale. Okay, so hopefully the morale can come in handy and the gold can come in handy. But I guess we're going to have to wait until next time to see what else is happening. What else is going to lie before us here in this exciting adventure. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. Please like and subscribe. I thank you guys so much for watching. I do. I really do. And comment and tell me what you guys think. I really appreciate it. But have a great day. Bye.